My name is Eleanor Thompson, and at 72 years of age, I have lived long enough to understand the difference between appearance and truth, between what people see on the surface and what lies quietly beneath. I have learned that silence can be a form of generosity, and that generosity, when taken for granted, can curdle into something bitter. Most of all, I have learned that some moments, single, sharp moments, can shatter years of careful illusion in an instant. People who know me only in passing see an ordinary elderly woman. My wardrobe is simple: wool coats in winter that I've owned for decades, cotton dresses in summer, cardigans mended more than once, sensible flat shoes polished by hand. My hair is silver, always pinned back neatly. I live in a modest two-bedroom apartment in an older brick building on a tree-lined street downtown, one of those places that hasn't changed much since the 1970s. Neighbors nod politely in the elevator. The mailman calls me Mrs. T. The cashier at the corner market asks after my health every week. They assume I live on a small pension, perhaps with a little savings tucked away from my late husband's life insurance. They assume correctly about the pension. I kept it coming for appearance's sake, but they are wrong about nearly everything else. My husband, Robert Thompson, was not a famous man. He never sought fame. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, when personal computers were just beginning to appear in offices and homes, Robert was one of the quiet engineers behind the scenes. He co-founded a small company that designed and manufactured circuit boards and memory components. The company grew steadily, then rapidly. When the tech boom hit in the 1990s, larger firms came calling. Robert sold his stake, not for billions, but for enough to change our lives forever. He was diagnosed with cancer shortly after the sale. In his final years, as he grew weaker, we sat together in our apartment and planned what would come next. "Ellie," he told me one evening, holding my hand as the city lights flickered on outside our window, "money like this can ruin people if they let it. Promise me you'll keep your feet on the ground. Use it wisely. Help where it's needed, but don't let it change who we are." I promised, and when he passed 15 years ago, I honored that promise. I paid off the apartment outright. I invested the rest conservatively: blue chip stocks, municipal bonds, a few carefully chosen real estate trusts. I hired a discreet financial advisor and an equally discreet lawyer, Mr. Jonathan Hargrove, to manage everything. My net worth grew quietly in the background while I lived the same life I always had: morning walks in the park, volunteer reading to children at the library on Tuesdays, church on Sundays, tea with a small circle of old friends. I never bought a new car. I never took extravagant trips. I never wore jewelry beyond my wedding ring and my mother's pearls. I did it for two reasons. First, because ostentation felt dishonest to the woman Robert had married. Second, because I wanted to protect the one person left in the world who meant everything to me: our son, Alexander. Alex was 10 when his father died. He grew up in that apartment, learning to ride a bike in the hallway when it rained, building forts out of chairs and blankets in the living room, doing homework at the same oak dining table where Robert and I had eaten thousands of meals. He was a gentle boy, imaginative, always drawing or writing stories. College was a struggle financially for him. He insisted on paying his own way as much as he could, but I made sure scholarships appeared when needed, loans were quietly paid down, and part-time job bonuses arrived just in time. After graduation, Alex found work in marketing. He was good at it, creative, personable, but the city is expensive and dreams cost money. 5 years ago, at a friend's art gallery opening, he met Sophia. Sophia was 28 then, stunning in the way that turns heads without effort, long auburn hair, sharp green eyes, a laugh that filled rooms. She worked as a freelance event planner, organizing corporate parties and high society weddings. She moved in elite circles, or at least on the edges of them, and she wanted more. Alex was smitten from the first evening. Within months, they were living together in a gleaming high-rise apartment with views of the river, stainless steel appliances, hardwood floors, a balcony big enough for parties. The rent was more than Alex earned in 2 months. I saw the worry in his eyes when he thought I wasn't looking. Late-night phone calls. "Mom, things are just tight right now. Sophia has big plans for her business and we're trying to keep up." I listened, comforted, and then acted. Through Mr. Hargrove's office, I set up anonymous monthly transfers. Their rent was paid before the invoice even reached them. When credit card balances climbed, designer clothes for Sophia, client dinners, a new laptop for Alex's presentations, large chunks were paid off with no explanation. Debt consolidation loan approved, the letter said. When Sophia's business hit slow seasons and she fell behind on office rent or marketing costs, those bills vanished too. I never signed my name. I never wanted gratitude. I only wanted my son happy. Sophia began noticing my apartment more and more. During Sunday dinners, which I still cooked from scratch in my outdated kitchen, Sophia would wander through the rooms, trailing her fingers along the bookshelves. "This place has such good bones," she'd say casually. "Original hardwood, high ceilings, that beautiful moldings, and the location, walking distance to everything. You're so lucky, Eleanor." Then the hints grew bolder. "You must get lonely here all by yourself. With Alex and me thinking about starting a family soon, we'll need more space. 2 bedrooms would be perfect for a nursery and a home office. You know, there are some lovely senior living communities just outside the city. They have activities, meals prepared, no maintenance. You'd make friends your own age." I smiled each time, changed the subject, refilled wine glasses. Alex would look embarrassed and squeeze my hand under the table. I told myself it was just excitement about the future. Young couples dream big. I kept giving. When they got engaged, Alex called me first, voice trembling with joy. "Mom, she said yes!" Sophia FaceTimed minutes later, flashing a dazzling diamond solitaire. I oohed and ahed appropriately. What she didn't know was that the ring had come from a work bonus Alex received, money routed through Mr. Hargrove. Wedding planning consumed the next year. Sophia wanted the best of everything. The venue had to be the Riverside Ballroom, the most exclusive in the city, with its marble floors, crystal chandeliers, and panoramic views of the river at sunset. The guest list ballooned to 150. The flowers had to be flown in from Ecuador. The band had to be the one that played celebrity weddings. The gown, Sophia tried on dresses that cost as much as small cars. One evening, Alex came to my apartment alone. He sat at the kitchen table, head in his hands. "Mom, we can't do this. The deposits alone are tens of thousands. Sophia's devastated. We're talking about scaling back, maybe City Hall and a restaurant dinner." I poured him tea just like when he was a boy with a scraped knee. "Sweetheart," I said gently, "you only get married once. You deserve the day you've dreamed of. Don't worry about the money." That night, I transferred a 7-figure sum to cover every contract, every vendor, every detail. The venue was booked, the caterer signed, the florist confirmed. Sophia threw herself into planning with renewed fervor, assuming Alex had taken out loans or that her negotiation skills had worked miracles. The wedding day arrived on a perfect October Saturday. Crisp air, blue skies, leaves turning gold and crimson along the river. I woke early, as always. I made tea in my little kitchen, stood at the window watching the city come alive. This apartment had seen so much. Robert's laughter, Alex's childhood, my grief, my quiet rebuilding. I dressed carefully, a navy silk dress I'd worn to my niece's wedding 20 years ago, refreshed at the dry cleaner, my mother's pearl necklace and earrings, low navy pumps. I wanted to fade into the background, to watch my son's happiness without drawing attention. The riverside ballroom was transformed into a fairy tale. Thousands of white roses cascaded from arches and overflowed from centerpieces. Golden chivalry chairs gleamed under the chandeliers. The string quartet played softly as guests arrived, Sophia's stylish friends in couture gowns, Alex's co-workers in tailored suits, relatives I hadn't seen in years murmuring about how grand it all was. The ceremony was perfect. Alex stood at the altar, tall and handsome in his black tuxedo, eyes shining with tears as Sophia appeared. Her gown was breathtaking, hand-beaded lace, a cathedral-length train, a veil edged in delicate embroidery. She looked like something out of a magazine. Their vows were personal, heartfelt. When they kissed, the room erupted in cheers and applause. I clapped until my palms stung, tears streaming down my cheeks. The reception flowed like champagne. Hors d'oeuvres circulated, truffle arancini, caviar on blinis, prosciutto-wrapped figs. The band transitioned to upbeat jazz. First dances, father-daughter. Alex danced with me briefly, whispering, "Thank you, Mom," in my ear. Mother-son. I sat at the head table between Alex's Aunt Lydia and an old college friend of Robert's, content to observe. As evening deepened, the cake was cut, a 6-tier masterpiece with sugar flowers that matched the real ones. The bouquet was tossed, the garter thrown, laughter echoed. I slipped away briefly to the ladies' room to blot my eyes and reapply lipstick. When I returned, Sophia was waiting near the edge of the dance floor. Alex was a few yards away, laughing with his groomsmen over old college stories. She took my arm, gently at first, and steered me to a quieter corner near the grand windows overlooking the river. But her grip tightened almost immediately. "Eleanor," she began, voice honey-sweet but pitched loud enough for nearby tables to hear. "Now that Alex and I are officially family, it's time we talked about the future practically." Heads turned, conversations quieted. I felt the first prickle of warning. "Of course, dear. What's on your mind?" "Your apartment." Her smile was bright, but her eyes were cold. "It's absolutely perfect for us. Paid off, I assume. Great location, 2 bedrooms, one for us, one for the nursery when babies come. You've had it long enough. It's time to hand over the keys. Consider it your wedding gift to your new daughter-in-law." The words landed like ice water. Guests were openly watching now, phones angled discreetly. "Sophia," I said softly, trying to keep this private, "this is neither the time nor the place. That apartment is my home. I've lived here 40 years. It's where Alex grew up. It's where I cared for Robert in his final months. I'm not leaving it." Her expression shifted in an instant, smile gone, eyes narrowed. "Not leaving it? You're being selfish. You rattle around in all that space alone while we struggle to build a life. You're poor, Eleanor. Everyone knows it. Scraping by on a pension, no real assets. The least you could do is be generous for once." The insult struck deeper than I expected. Poor. After every sacrifice, after every anonymous payment that had kept their world spinning? I drew a slow breath. "No, Sophia, my home is not yours to claim." Her face twisted into something ugly, and then, before I could step back, she raised her hand and slapped me across the face with all her strength. The crack echoed through the ballroom like a thunderclap. My head snapped sideways. Pain exploded across my cheek. I tasted blood where my tooth cut the inside of my lip. For a moment, the world tilted. Gasps rippled outward, glasses clinked as people froze, phones rose higher, recording openly now. "You greedy, selfish old hag, poor and miserly, how dare you ruin our perfect day?" Alex rushed over, face drained of color. "Sophia, my God, what are you doing?" She whirled on him. "Defend me! She's refusing to help her own family." The band had stopped mid-song. The room was deathly silent. I stood there, hand pressed to my burning cheek, feeling the weight of every stare. Something inside me, the part that had bent and bent for years under the weight of quiet giving, finally snapped and irrevocably broke. But it did not break into anger. It broke into clarity. I reached into my small clutch with steady fingers and dialed the number I knew by heart. "Mr. Hargrove," I said calmly when he answered, "it's Eleanor Thompson. Please come to the Riverside Ballroom immediately. Bring the red portfolio, all the statements, transfer records, trust documents, everything. It's time." Sophia laughed, a sharp, mocking bark. "Calling your lawyer? You can't even afford a real one. This is pathetic." Alex looked at me, confused and pleading. "Mom?" 25 minutes later, Jonathan Hargrove arrived. He strode in carrying a leather briefcase, silver hair impeccable, suit pressed. He nodded to me with quiet respect and ignored the stunned crowd. I walked slowly, deliberately, to the small stage. The DJ, sensing the gravity, handed me the microphone without a word. "Ladies and gentlemen," I began, my voice clear and unwavering despite the throbbing in my face. "I will only take a few moments of your time." The silence was absolute. "For the past 5 years," I continued, "I have been the silent financial foundation of my son Alexander and his bride Sophia's life. Their luxury apartment rent, paid in full every month by me. Their accumulated debts, credit cards, car loans, student loans, business expenses, totaling well over $100,000, cleared by me. And this when," I swept my arm to encompass the opulent room, "every detail, from this ballroom to the imported flowers to that magnificent gown, funded entirely by me, all anonymously, all because I loved them and wanted nothing more than their happiness." Shocked whispers swept the room like wind through dry leaves. Sophia had gone ghostly pale. Alex stared as if seeing me for the first time. Mr. Hargrove set up a small projector connected to the venue's large screen, the one meant for the couple's romantic slideshow. Documents began appearing, bank transfers time-stamped monthly, invoices marked paid in full, trust statements showing balances in the 8 figures. "As you can see," Mr. Hargrove said in his measured baritone, "Mrs. Eleanor Thompson's net worth is substantial. She chose a life of modesty not from necessity, but from principle, a principle her late husband Robert and she held dear." Sophia found her voice at last. "Lies, all of it. She lives like a pauper because she is one." "No," I replied quietly into the microphone. "I lived quietly so that you could live extravagantly. I gave without expectation because that is what mothers do. But today, I was called poor. I was called selfish. I was struck across the face in front of family and friends for refusing to surrender the home where I raised my son and nursed my dying husband. I turned to Mr. Hargrove. "Jonathan, please execute the immediate termination of all ongoing financial support." He nodded once. "Already in progress. Rent payments? Canceled. Automatic bill pays? Canceled. Credit line extensions? Revoked. The wedding expenses were a final, one-time gift." The collapse began almost immediately. The venue manager approached the head table, face tight with concern. The final payment for the ballroom, due that very night, had been scheduled through my account. It had just failed. The open bar was shut down mid-pour. The caterer began quietly tallying unpaid extras. The photographer asked about settlement for additional hours. One of the florists whispered to another about deposit shortfalls. Sophia lunged toward the stage, eyes wild. "You can't do this! You'll destroy us! Everything we've built!" Security, hired for crowd control during dancing, moved in smoothly and escorted her away as she shrieked and clawed at the air. Alex stood rooted to the spot, tears streaming down his face. "Mom, why didn't you ever tell me? All this time!" I looked at my son, my only child, the boy I had rocked to sleep, the young man I had shielded from every storm, and felt a profound sadness beneath the steel of my resolve. Because true love, Alex, does not keep score. It gives freely, asks nothing in return. But respect is not optional. And today, in one cruel moment, you both showed me exactly where I stand in your hearts. I handed the microphone back to the stunned DJ, gathered my small purse, and walked out of the ballroom with my head high. My cheeks still burned, but my soul, for the first time in years, felt light. In the weeks and months that followed, the consequences unfolded like dominoes. Their luxury apartment sent the first late notice, then eviction proceedings. Debts long thought buried resurfaced with accumulated interest. The honeymoon to Bora Bora, non-refundable tickets, went unused as the travel agency demanded full payment. Sophia's event planning business faltered without the invisible cushion. Clients sensed instability and looked elsewhere. They moved into a cramped one-bedroom studio on the far side of the city. Thin walls, noisy neighbors, a single window overlooking a parking lot. Friends whispered about the dramatic fall. Some of Sophia's social circle drifted away, uncomfortable with the new reality. Alex calls now and then, voice subdued, full of regret. He asks about my health, tells me about his new job search, apologizes in circles. Sophia has not spoken to me once, too proud perhaps, or too ashamed. I still live in my apartment, the same creaky radiator that Robert used to curse on cold mornings, the same kitchen table where Alex did his homework, the same bedroom where I held Robert's hand as he slipped away. The windows still look out over the city I love, a city that has changed around me while I remained steady. I walk in the park each morning. I read to children at the library on Tuesdays. I have tea with friends who never knew the full story and never need to. I learned a hard truth that October evening, amid shattered illusions and scattered rose petals. Wealth can buy many things: security, opportunities, even happiness for those you love, but it cannot buy respect. And some slaps, painful as they are the price of finally seeing clearly. That was the day the facade ended, and for me, a quieter, truer chapter began. One where generosity is given only to those who deserve it, and peace is no longer purchased at the cost of self-respect.